Have you noticed how the world applauds the person with a full calendar, but almost ignores the elder who quietly sits by the window sipping tea in silence? We are told that a good life means lots of friends, lots of messages, lots of invitations. Yet if you look closely at the wisest elders, the monks, the grandmothers with eyes that have seen everything, they rarely live in crowds. What if the slow fading of friendships after 60, 70, or 80 is not a failure, but a silent graduation? What if losing people is not life taking something away from you, but life gently guiding you back to the one person you were always meant to meet deeply yourself? In this video, we're going to walk through that hidden shift. We'll explore why having fewer friends in your later years is not a tragedy, but a sacred invitation. An invitation to peace, to clarity, to a freedom that doesn't depend on who calls, who visits, or who remembers your birthday. Stay with me until the end. Because the final insight might change how you see every relationship in your life, including the one you have with your own heart. Imagine this. For most of your life, you were someone's spouse, someone's parent, someone's employee, someone's boss, someone your friends turned to when they needed advice or a favor. Decades of being someone can feel like wearing a heavy coat. It keeps you warm for a while, but at some point, it starts to weigh you down. Let's meet Daniel. For 45 years, people called him Professor. Students adored him. Colleagues respected him. He was always surrounded by people, emails, meetings, and expectations. Then, one day, it all stopped. Retirement, no more classes, no more conference invitations, no more young faces waiting for his approval. At first, Daniel panicked. He felt invisible. Old friends got busy. Newer ones drifted away. He spent hours scrolling through his phone, hoping someone would reach out. One afternoon, he walked to a small park near his home. He sat on a bench with nothing to do, no lecture notes, no agenda, just him, his breath, the sound of leaves brushing against each other. He watched a child chase a balloon that kept slipping from their fingers. Run, grab, lose it, run, grab, lose it again. And suddenly he saw his whole life in that little moment. For so many years, he had been chasing something: respect, status, relevance, the feeling of being important to others. The balloon was never meant to stay in his hands. It was meant to float. In that quiet realization, something softened. He noticed the warmth of the sun on his face, the simple rhythm of his own breath, the way his shoulders dropped when he stopped trying to be Professor and just let himself be Daniel. This is the first hidden gift of having fewer friends as you grow older. You don't have to prove anything anymore. When you were younger, you might have adjusted your opinions just to fit in, laughed at jokes you didn't really find funny, acted stronger than you felt, played the role you thought others needed from you. But with time, something shifts. The mask gets heavy. The performance gets exhausting. Zen wisdom says nothing about you is fixed. You are not frozen in the image others hold of you. You are more like a river, always flowing, always changing. The fewer people you feel you must impress, the more space you have to just be. Not impressive, not perfect, not endlessly available, just honest. You may notice you crave fewer conversations where you have to perform, and more moments where you can breathe and not pretend. And that leads us into the second quiet gift. As the years pass, noise becomes less exciting, and peace becomes priceless. Think of how you used to live. Maybe your schedule was full: work discussions, family obligations, parties, birthdays, group chats buzzing all day. In those days, being busy felt like being alive. But one day your body begins to whisper, slow down. Your heart begins to whisper, listen. You realize that after some social events, you don't feel energized. You feel drained, your mind feels scattered, your chest feels tight. Then, on another day, you sit quietly by a window. No TV, no phone. Just a cup of tea and the soft sound of birds outside. You notice something strange. There's no one around you, but you don't feel lonely. You feel okay. Perhaps even peaceful. In Zen, this stillness is not a mistake. It is medicine. Silence is not the absence of life. Silence is where life returns to itself. When you have fewer friends to entertain, fewer events to attend, fewer conversations to keep alive, you begin to create space. Space to notice your breath, space to feel your body from the inside, space to sense a kind of quiet presence that has always been there waiting. This piece is not about pushing people away. It's about no longer pushing yourself beyond what your soul can bear. You can still love others deeply. You can still enjoy company when it feels right. But you no longer need constant noise to feel real. Your value is not measured by how many people are around you. Your value is tasted in the purity of your own awareness. And surprisingly, as life gets quieter, another truth reveals itself. Fewer friends often means fewer chances to be hurt. Think about it. Every friendship carries beauty, and every friendship carries risk. The more relationships you juggle, the more expectations, spoken or unspoken, start to form. You expect people to remember you, to call back, to understand you, to react the way you would react. When they don't, disappointment sneaks in. Resentment quietly grows. Old memories become heavy. Let's picture someone named Lien. In her youth, she had many friends. Her house was always open. Her phone never stopped ringing. She was the organizer, the planner, the glue. As she grew older, some friends passed away. Others moved to different cities or countries. Some simply disappeared into their own busy lives. For a while, Lien fought this change. She clung to the past like a faded photograph. She replayed old gatherings in her mind, wondering what she had done wrong. Then, one evening, while looking at an old group photo, she noticed something. Even back then, in that crowded room, her eyes looked tired. Not unhappy, just overstretched. Pulled in too many directions, she realized she had spent years trying to keep everyone close, and in doing so, she had drifted far from herself. This is the quiet wisdom of aging. You start to see that not every connection must be carried forever. Zen doesn't ask you to stop caring. It invites you to care differently. With fewer friendships to maintain, there is less drama. Fewer misunderstandings, fewer silent expectations that leave you feeling hurt. You begin to choose depth over width. A simple, warm conversation with one honest friend can be more nourishing than a room full of people where you feel unseen. Your heart becomes a calm home, not a crowded hallway. And when the noise settles, you notice something else. Time itself starts to feel different. When you're young, you can waste a whole afternoon complaining about traffic, and it feels like nothing. You can spend hours gossiping, and it feels normal. But somewhere after 60, 70, or 80, time takes on a new flavor. You become aware that there are fewer years ahead of you than behind you. That doesn't have to be scary. It can be deeply clarifying. Every morning becomes a gift. Every simple moment, sun on your skin, the smell of coffee, the sound of a loved one's voice becomes a treasure. With this awareness, your standards change. You no longer want to spend hours in shallow conversations that go nowhere. You no longer want to sit in rooms that drain your spirit. You start to ask, is this how I want to spend this hour of my life? Is this person helping me grow in kindness and peace? Does this activity bring me closer to myself, or does it pull me away? This doesn't mean you reject people. It means you honor your time. A slow walk in the park can feel more meaningful than a noisy party. 10 minutes of quiet breathing can feel more valuable than an entire afternoon of small talk. Zen reminds us that the present moment is the only real moment. Everything else is memory or imagination. As your circle of friends gets smaller, you gain something immense, the chance to live each day more consciously. You can pour your attention into what truly matters, into the loved ones who are still here, into your body, your breath, your heart, into the simple miracle of existing. And from this deeper presence, a new insight begins to bloom. If peace can be felt even when your phone is silent, if joy can arise even in an empty room, maybe happiness was never truly out there in other people. Maybe it was always closer than that. Let's meet another soul. Her name is Anna. For decades, Anna was the pillar of her family. If someone was sick, she was there. If someone needed money, she found a way. If someone was sad, she listened for hours. Helping others made her feel alive, needed, important. But one year her body slowed down. Her knees hurt, her energy dropped. Doctors told her to rest. She couldn't run around like she used to. She couldn't say yes to every request. She couldn't hold everyone's world together anymore. At first, she felt useless. Some relatives visited less once she wasn't always available. Her phone quieted down. Alone with herself, Anna felt an ache she couldn't name. Then something surprising happened. With all that extra time, she began to do small things she had long postponed. She sat by the window and watched the sky change colors. She picked up an old notebook and wrote down memories. She prayed not for others this time, but just to sit in the presence of something larger than her own worries. She realized that even without doing, she still had value. Her presence was gentle. Her words, when she spoke, carried decades of lived truth. Her eyes held a softness that comforted people, even in silence. It was as if life was whispering, "You are not valuable because of what you do for others. You are valuable because of what you are." Zen explains this in a simple way. The treasure you are looking for outside is already inside. Friends, family, community, these are blessings. But if you depend on them entirely for your happiness, you will always feel a subtle fear. What if they leave? What if they forget me? What if I end up alone? As you move into your later years, you are given an unexpected opportunity. The outer world becomes quieter, so the inner world can finally be heard. You begin to taste a deeper kind of contentment, one that doesn't rise and fall with other people's moods, one that doesn't collapse when plans are canceled. You discover that simply sitting, breathing, and being aware can be enough. Not boring, not empty, enough. From this place, relationships change. You don't cling as tightly. You don't demand that people fill the emptiness inside you. You relate from fullness, not from hunger. And then one more truth arrives, a truth that at first may feel uncomfortable, but can become your greatest freedom. Letting go can make your life feel more whole. We are taught that love means holding on, never changing, never stepping back. But what if in some seasons of life, love also means releasing? Releasing the idea of who you should be, releasing the need to fit into every gathering, releasing the guilt of saying no. As you age, certain identities crack and fall away. The young one, the fixer, the life of the party, the always available friend. It can feel like losing pieces of yourself. But maybe you are not losing anything essential. Maybe you are shedding costumes. Like a bird that has been kept in a cage for years, door open but afraid to fly, your heart might hesitate. If I stop trying to keep everyone close, will I end up alone? If I accept that some friendships have run their course, am I being cold? Zen offers a gentle answer. Letting go is not rejection. Letting go is respect. Respect for your own limits. Respect for the impermanence of all things. Respect for the mysterious way relationships rise, deepen, and sometimes fade. You can bless a friendship that no longer fits your life without bitterness. You can remember someone with warmth without needing to hold them tightly in the present. In that release, something opens. You find space to discover new interests, to sit under a tree and just feel the breeze, to return to a childhood hobby, to whisper a simple thank you to life for letting you reach this age. You might even discover that you belong in a way that has nothing to do with specific people. You belong to the sky above you, to the earth beneath you, to the great flow of life itself. This is the quiet twist. Having fewer friends in your later years is not about isolation. It's about belonging more deeply to yourself, to the present moment, to the mysterious, sacred movement of life. So, as you stand in this chapter of your life, or as you imagine the older version of yourself, you will one day pause for a moment. Ask your heart, do I still feel forced to prove my worth to others, or am I ready to rest in who I already am? Do I fill my time with noise because I'm afraid of silence? Or am I curious about what I might hear if I truly listened within? Do I chase quantity in relationships, or am I ready to honor quality, fewer, deeper, gentler connections? Your answers don't have to come immediately. They can rise slowly like the sun appearing behind clouds. This week you might try one small experiment. Maybe you say no to one social obligation that exhausts you, and instead you say yes to a quiet hour alone, walking, breathing, reflecting. Maybe you reach out to one person who truly matters to you, not to complain, not to fill time, but simply to say, I'm grateful for you. Maybe you sit for 5 minutes with your eyes closed and place your hand over your heart and feel the life pulsing there, without needing anyone else to validate it. You are not failing if your circle is small. You are not broken if your phone is quiet. You are not behind if your life looks simpler than the lives you see on screens. You may in fact be closer to the heart of Zen than you realize. A life where you no longer chase every opinion, where you no longer beg for attention, where you walk slowly, listen deeply, and love sincerely. Starting with yourself. If something in this message resonated with you, let your heart remember it. Write it down. Sit with it tonight before sleep. And if you feel called, share your experience in the comments. How has your circle changed as you've grown older? Did it hurt? Did it bring relief? What unexpected wisdom did you find in the quieter spaces? Your story may be the exact reminder someone else needs. If this kind of gentle, mindful reflection supports you, you're welcome to stay connected here. There is more to explore together about aging, about peace, and about the strange, beautiful art of letting go without losing yourself. For now, take a breath. Feel the simple miracle of being alive in this moment. And remember, even if the world around you becomes smaller, your inner world can become vast beyond measure.